All right, this is the note. This is your notes for the Mexican-American War. If you want to pause, print out the notes that go along with it, the PowerPoint or the PDF version of the notes, and you can always come back to this. All right, here we go. Mexican-American War. The last lesson we talked about President Polk, and this is this will be the culmination, if you remember, in the idea of manifest destiny, and the idea that the United States can, and should, according to many of its citizens, occupy the land between the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, in what really today we think of as the lower 48 states of the United States of America. The war starts out. President James Polk sends the army down to Mexico. There's a dispute over where the border should be between Mexico and the United States, especially after the annexation of Texas. And so it's kind of this idea, okay, what is Texas? What isn't Texas? What should have been, what should be the United States now is after Texas was annexed, and what shouldn't? The diplomats, though, are turned away. The Mexican government is still smarting after the Texas Revolution, and what they see as American intervention. Okay? But to many, war is seen as inevitable. Zachary Taylor is sent in. He's kind of the head honcho, the best general of the period, and he's ordered, again, he's sent, as you can see, to observe the border with Mexico. And he's ordered to attack if he is provoked. Well, the way the United States often goes or does things in terms of starting a war is they goad the enemy into attacking first. So he goes and sets up camp right on the border of Mexico, and most countries don't like that, so they send their army, and shots are fired, and war begins. Here's a map of how the war kind of looks. Basically, you have Taylor's group. Here's where they start to, they're lining up along the Mexican border here, and if you remember at that time, Mexico still controlled, even without Texas, they still controlled what is modern-day California, Colorado, Nevada, into New Mexico and Arizona. Okay, they still controlled what we would consider a large part of the United States today. So Taylor starts pushing south, and he starts winning battle after battle, and he actually becomes very popular. President James Polk had made a pledge to serve only one term, but as happens with many presidents who are in power, he didn't necessarily want to give it up. He ends up having some health issues, and if you remember from the last lesson, he actually ends up dying 3 months after he leaves office in 1849. But at this, during the Mexican-American War, he still is kind of thinking, he likes being president. He likes being able to do the things he wants to do. And so he and Taylor start having a bit of a dispute. Taylor's becoming way too popular, and it's becoming pretty evident that the Whig Party, the party that's going to run against Polk in 1848, or the Democrats in 1848, wants Taylor to be their candidate, even while he's still in the field. So in order to try to maybe curb some of the enthusiasm for Taylor, General Winfield Scott is sent down, and he is told to take Mexico City. And here's kind of a large map. Starts winning over battles, works his way up, and goes and takes Mexico City. And this, according to Polk, was supposed to curb the enthusiasm. This all but ends the war. But Taylor's still seen as kind of the prime presidential candidate. One other thing that goes on at this time, though, kind of not necessarily part of this campaign, is the California campaign. a number of groups go in, seize California, fight a couple battles, and California, for a very, very brief period of time, becomes the Bear Flag Republic. But very soon, especially when gold is found in 1849, the California will become part of the United States. At the end of the war, you see the red here, this is the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. That ends the war. And as you can see, that's a good chunk of space that's given to the United States because of that. Later on, you have what's called the Gadsden Purchase, which is basically a railroad man wants to put in a railroad south, and he needs that land, and that's where that land comes from. But as you can see, the Mexican-American War expands the United States. Truly, it becomes a continental power with the end of this war. If you have any questions, you can email me at the address given, and good luck.